What is a society if you don't have critical thinkers, and if you don't have critical researchers, and if you don't have critical questions? I ask you. But the thing is, in this day and age, or perhaps it's as old as the ages, the ones that question are the ones that are being pressured. That doesn't matter because the pressure forms a diamond at one point, but it does show in this day and age that people are afraid to question. They are afraid to research. They are afraid to open links because of everything that is going on in society at the moment. And visa is not going to make it easier for people to become a researcher and become a critical citizen, a critical civilian that has the right to be informed on every topic of the scale on information. But we're now seeing that people have groomed or indoctrinated so bad that questioning things is translated as a fear, which I noticed yesterday because I had questions on the central heating element that was placed in my home, which the neighbors already told me has Wi-Fi on it, and that it has a read. Oh, that is special. You may have noticed that they flip the camera a lot in my videos. Where was I? And that's exactly why they do it. You get derailed on your train of thoughts. Wi-Fi in the boiler. Why do they need Wi-Fi on the boiler? Well, that was an illegal experiment without the consent of the entire neighborhood that didn't read the fine print on their human rights and basic human rights, but it's illegal to push Wi-Fi in the home and then read how much we use, consumer use, and when we use, and also to be able to dim the heater or make it run harder. And I did that research, and I was sure to refuse the Wi-Fi and the smart heater. And I forced them, basically standing within my rights, to give me a central heater without Wi-Fi or any smart techniques. I was watching like a hawk because I know they install things without our permission, and so I was asking questions. A lot of questions. Is there RF in there? And there was an RF element in the thermostat. I said I don't want that either because it's hackable and they can just amp up your thermostat and you'll be left with a bill that if you're not at home and they amp it up and you don't know it. So I refuse all Wi-Fi and RF techniques, etc. that is hackable and is able to watch and violate my privacy. That is a strength. That is a strength. And oh my goodness. Well, can I get it back? I can't flip it. Can't even flip it. That's strength. They dare to question that strength, and they dare to transform that strength, saying, ma'am, what, it looks like you're afraid of something. It looks like you fear something. And so they take that strength and try to flip it into something's wrong with you for questioning things. And that's the propaganda that we see active, that they've been using for years on end on people that question or come with theories that have been proven right by my neighbors, that they inserted Wi-Fi in the boiler for obscure reasons. That's not a theory, and it was worth questioning. And that's what I noticed. So how the psychology works on the people that don't read and don't do research and just eat everything the government spoons down, and then dare turn it on us for questioning things that we might have some fear. We might have some fear. Yeah, I fear unquestioned power. And we should fear that. And that's, I think, the sign of a healthy mind, a sound mind for that regard. And I just wanted to share that. The same thing happened with the electronic patient file. Um, and the other smart stuff that we got intimidated to accept, while it goes against all our basic human rights, and there was no obligation by the government for it, but they try to intimidate you to accepting it without question, and then sell your data. Like, how stupid do you think I am, right? So, but the electronic patient file was the same thing. They were asking permission at the pharmacy to be linked up with the electronic patient file, and I said no. And he started stating, "Oh, that's stupid, lady. That's stupid. That's not smart of you at all." And that's where you have to stand up for truth. Because intimidation ain't right. It's not. This is a free society that we must defend with rising against tyranny and intimidation. And this man was intimidating me and trying to humiliate me while I did my research. And I shared my research with that man, and he stood corrected because the electronic patient file was hacked so many times already before it was even fully implemented, and these people were duped badly, and it was not safe at all. And I said, I'm going to protect my medical information by not linking up with the electronic patient files. So I was in that store, and that pharmacist pressured me, or tried to pressure me by stating, "You're stupid if you won't accept the electronic patient files." And he said that in a store that had somewhat 30 people in there, really out loud, trying to humiliate me, what type I am. And of course, I already knew about the Delphi technique, so I knew that I was cornered into being publicly humiliated into the thinking pattern of them, forced upon me that the entire world would accept the electronic patient files, and I'm the only one that was stupid enough to refuse it. That's the Delphi technique. Search, research, and you'll know that that is just a way of manipulating you basically manipulating you into consent, making you believe that the entire store is on his side, and I'm the only one that is the bad actor in the room. It's a technique. It's a technique. If you look into Delphi Technique Agenda 21, you'll find it, and learn from it, and see how they operate. And I obviously stated that you must have have had a financial incentive to create or to be part of the electronic patient link. And then he sort of knew, I can't get any further with this person because she learned too much. And that's true. And he stood corrected, and then he said, "Thank you. I didn't know that." And that's how we should roll. Stand for truth always, and be willing to. Yeah, it's just that the salmon always swims against the stream, and that's how it is, and that's the action that is needed. You do your homework big time, good, and you share that, and it doesn't have to be aggressive at all. But you gotta do your homework, and you gotta use it in action in the moments that you need it. No fear, and that's, I think, how we're gonna win, hopefully. Wow, that camera flip twice was so telling on how they distort perception. Just look the other way. Don't listen to the person speaking and asking questions. I'm gonna keep it in the video. It's so telling.